Thank you so much for joining our Kendra's Card Challenge number 13, Kraftin Kimmie Collaboration Hop, featuring our super sponsor, Kraftin Kimmie Stamps. Our team will be showcasing some of their amazing stamps with Kendra's Card Challenge number 13. This is also a giveaway hop. You can win a digital giveaway prize from @Cards by Kendra. When you finish the hop, fill out the form that's in the description and enter the giveaway by February 24th. The winner will be randomly chosen and announced on the Cards by Kendra community tab on her YouTube channel. Kendra's Card Challenge is free to download, and I will link below to the PDF that you can download off of Kendra's Patreon. You can be a member for free and download this challenge. So this challenge, you can use 6x6 sheets of paper to create 15 cards. But today I'm not going to be creating the 15 cards. I'm just going to be using one of the card sketches to create my card. And I'll be using sketch number 13 to create today's card using products from Kraftin Kimmie. And so all of the design team members will be creating cards today using Kraftin Kimmie products, since Kraftin Kimmie is a super sponsor. So I'm going to be using the Safari Fun stamp set, and all of the designers will have various stamp sets that they will be using. So this is the Safari Fun stamp set, and I absolutely love it. It's so cute. And I'm going to be using the Darling Dashes stencil. So to get started on today's card, I have a piece of parchment paper here. You could use anything that you have. If you had a piece of plastic or a Ziploc bag, anything will work. And I've just added some of my distress ink to the parchment paper, and now I'm just adding some water, spraying some water on to activate the ink. And so I just want to get kind of a distressed splotchy look onto my cardstock, and I'm using a 110-pound cardstock for this one, and I'm just dabbing it into the ink until I get the look that I'm going for. And so I just look where I need it and then dab it. So the corners need a little bit, and there in the middle is just a little bit wider than I like, so I think I'll just add a little bit more there to the center and just pick up all the ink that I have put down on my parchment paper. So now I need to dry this before I move on to the next step. So you could leave this and let it dry overnight, or if you have a heat tool, you can use your heat tool to dry it. Now that it's dry, I want to go ahead and use my Darling Dashes stencil, and I'm just going to stencil in using some green ink. And I'm just going to do a little sample corner for you, since I went ahead and created all the pieces that I need. So I've gone ahead and created the 2 pieces for the front of the card, but now I need to create the background for the card. So my background piece, I'm going to start out a little bit different than I did the other pieces. So I'm going to use the same color ink that I used on the last one when I was dipping it into the paint after it had been activated with water. Well, this time I'm just going to stencil in the Darling Dashes stencil onto some white cardstock. And I want to fill in the whole background, but you don't have to have it all even. You can have darker in some areas and lighter in other areas. So once I have that stenciled, I'm bringing back my parchment paper, but I flipped it over so I don't get the brown ink into my green ink pad. And so now I'm just adding some of the green ink that I used to stencil the pieces before onto my parchment paper, adding a little bit of water to activate it. And then I'm going to do the same thing again and just smush it into the ink. And so I just want to get this all on the background. And I don't want to have a solid color. I want it to be splotchy, so I'm just adding it to certain areas and not all the areas. So I think that looks good. So now I'm going to flip my paper over, and I'm going to add the brown ink again to my parchment paper with a little bit more water, and we're going to smush this into the ink again. And the reason I'm doing this, I'm not putting as much ink as you can tell, but the reason I'm doing this is the green is a little bit brighter than I want. So I'm going to just add some more of the brown and just sort of calm the green down. So I'm going to be using the stamp that has the little elephant and the little boy, and so I thought, let's give it a little jungle look. So that's why I'm using these colors and doing this technique. So I wanted to have kind of a jungle background. So I'm going to add just a little bit more ink to my background. I feel like it's not enough, so that's the great thing about this process. You can, wipe up all your ink and start over and keep adding till you get the look that you're wanting. And I really love using this technique. It's quite messy. Your fingers will get messy, and your work area, if you keep your parchment down, won't get too messy. But I think it's a lot of fun to do this. And you can keep reactivating the ink if you need a little bit more, or you can add more ink to your parchment. Now, I don't stick it down where it was wet. I try to go over to the side where it's dry so I don't get water into my ink pad. So once I'm happy with the background, then I'm going to need to dry it again to create my card. So once again, you can leave it overnight, or you could just use your heat tool. So now I've gone ahead and cut out all the pieces for my card. I have the background, which I'm going to be using a craft color cardstock for the card base. Then for my background, I'm going to be using the piece that we made together. I also have gone ahead and stamped out the little boy and the elephant. I've colored it in with colored pencils and used my Gamsol and colored pencils on it. And then I have cut all the other pieces as well. And you can see there in the sketch, the stamp piece is on the circle. And I just cut it to fit my stamp, because you can see that the circle, it's more of it cut off in the sketch, but you can alter the sketches to fit your stamps or your cards or what you're trying to create for your card, and still be using the sketch, but you can alter it for your own style. Now, when you do the process that I just showed you, the paper is quite wrinkled. I could have, if I wasn't in such a hurry, I could have left it overnight between some books and it would have flattened out even more. But since I didn't and I was in a hurry, I just added glue to the back, liquid glue, and then I'm just using my bone folder to press it down really well. You just want to work with it to get it good and flat so that it's not wrinkled up. And it doesn't take long to do. You can see here it's smoothing out quite nicely. So as I said before, this is a giveaway hop, so be sure to look in the description for the form to fill out the giveaway, but also be sure to hop along to all of the other design team members' videos to get more inspiration on using Kraftin Kimmie stamps and stencils. Also, a little bit more about the Kendra's Card Challenge number 13. So Kendra's Card Challenge is a challenge that is free to join in, and you create 15 cards using 6 6x6 sheets of paper. And there is a Facebook group, and be sure to check out my description. I have all of this information in the description as well. But there is a Facebook group, and you can join the Facebook group, and that is how you enter the giveaways for the actual card challenge. You create your 15 cards, and then you upload one photo of all 15 cards, and there's more instructions on the Facebook group as to where you put them. And so you can upload your photos and enter the giveaway, and you can enter 3 times because there's 3 different months that you can enter, and so you'll make 3 different sets of 15 cards each month if you want to enter 3 times. And all of our super sponsors have donated products for us to either show you all or to that you can actually win. So when you download the PDF, there's a lot more information on the last sheet that explains the giveaways and all of our super sponsors and sponsors. So back to the card, I've gone ahead and layered all of my pieces, so now it's time to just pop up the little guy in sentiment that I stamped. And so I'm just adding some foam dots to the back to pop him up. And here is my completed card. Well, I hope that you will hop along to all of the other videos, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.